trying to work out how I change this orientation from, what is this? Portrait to landscape. So at the moment, I'm just stuck on portrait. And I cannot work out how to do it. Your comments, sorry about that, your comments will be eagerly awaited here. Am I even live? Yeah, I think I am. Looking forward to your comments. I wish I could work this thing out. It's such a pain in the ass. No, it's not going to happen. Chat filter, top messages. No. So let's see your comments. Or have I turned them off as well? I've probably turned them off. I'm prepping for the second half of the season, 10 races to come. Actually, there are 4 breaks, including a long one of 3 weekends in a row, which is quite unusual. Only ever happens during the big break. Why aren't I seeing your comments, people? Highlight, saved to your channel as unlisted. Bloody hell. Hello, Marcel. Thank you. It's Kim with a Y, but thank you, Marcel. And hello from a Piastri fan in Melbourne. Have you seen the video that his mum, Nicole, did? Excellent information. So, when am I heading off? Early next week. And I'm going on a ripper of a trip. I'm going on a Lufthansa 747, first class. I think it'll be a very interesting video. Now, I haven't been on a 747 for, I'm thinking, for 15 years, maybe longer. But I think it'll be interesting, and you won't believe the value of that flight. It was incredibly good. It was about the same price as business class on most other airlines. And I came back from Europe on the first part of that ticket after, was it Budapest? No, it was after Belgium. And it was Swiss Air, one direction for the long flight. Admittedly, it is a 2-stopper, which is a pain in the bum. And then heading back with Lufthansa, which is all part of the same group. So I'm excited about that. And I've just recorded a video. Took me for bloody ever to research. It's all about what is the most you could spend following F1 for a year. I've taken next year. I've spent probably 90 minutes researching airfares first class and then airfares economy. I've then worked out roughly what tickets are, what accommodation might be, what food, transport, and the figure I come to at the end. Oh, in fact, I've got to go back and redo that bit. I haven't. No, I've done that. It's a whopping figure. It's a figure that I don't think anyone would ever spend. I think if you've got that much money to spend on a first class trip like that, you'd be flying private, and it would be a crazy amount of money. So let me come to your comments here. New Zealanders with us. Are you watching RM Sotheby's and Car Week? No, I don't even know what that is. But did anyone see the result of last night's IndyCar race? I've not been able to see the final standings. I noticed Paddock was probably 6th or 7th to start, and Grosjean was about the same spot, maybe with Ericsson. But I want to know what actually transpired in that race. Happy that you're on board here, Louis Moreau, photograph with an E, being the French spelling. Yes, I am too busy a lot of the times, but I'm delighted now because I have had a few days of atrocious weather here in Western Australia. It has been shocking. Yesterday we had water leaks everywhere in the house, very heavy rain, so I'm keen to get back to some warm weather in Europe. Jace is coming with me. He's doing the next 2 races, not doing Baku, but doing Singapore, and finally the final one is Las Vegas, and that'll give him his 14 races, which means he will get his permanent pass for next year. We are on different flights heading out of here. He's going a 1-stopper and I'm on a 2-stopper. What else have we got here in your questions? Let's have a flick through. Super Chat gets you to the top of the list. Taking a Lufthansa 747-400 business to Frankfurt en route to Red Bull Ring in October. Good for you, Team Red Guts, who is a member of my channel. And I can tell because they have a little emoji next to their name. If you want to be a member, you are cordially invited to do so. Videos coming up. I've recorded a number of them and they are ready to go. A couple are pending something happening, but there's others like Wives and Girlfriends, an update on this year's crop. what else have I done? I can't remember now. I've got a list here. Just one moment. Oh, I've done a video on the most expensive package that you can buy from F1 Experiences. It's a package that's, you could probably get a 2008 Porsche Boxster for in the US. It's ridiculous money. And is it worth it? No, it's never worth it. But if you've got that much money, you're not worried about the money. You're doing it for the experience, and the experience sees you in pit lane, in a garage, not a car in there, just food and booze. But you get to actually watch the cars come and go in front of you, and you are situated in Las Vegas, right next to the Haas garage. So when they come in for their pit stop, if you're at the front of that facility, you just bend your head around, you can see that car stop and go. It's an unequalled opportunity. Right, some of your questions. Hello to Kiefer, who I think is a member because your comment is in green. Hopefully the audio is good. I've got a microphone plugged in today. Normally I just use the speaker on the phone. But it is 11:30 a.m. on a very cold day and wet. Although the sun's just come out, but it's windy as all hell out there. Don't want to be out there. Over Palm Springs, it would have been 30 years ago, maybe 40. I can't remember. What's the most memorable race you've done? When I see that question, my mind goes straight to Baku, the year that Lewis speared off at turn 1. Max had the crash. Perez or Gasly end up on the podium? Yeah, that was a pretty memorable race. Some great weather in the west, tongue-in-cheek. Enjoy the summer break. Looking forward to your coverage of the second half of the season. Me too. Lots of good things happening. And those Oliver Bearman prints have surprised the hell out of me. He has been so popular. Great kid, and I've not done a signed print with a Ferrari, so I think that's probably been one of the big drivers. You can go to kimellman.com if you want to see what's available. Each one of those is numbered. And it was funny when he signed them, because we signed them over in the F2 garage, and his garage wasn't far away. This was in Spa. His garage wasn't far away from where Brad Pitt and the crew were doing some of their stuff based out of. Clinton Brown, a name I see often. Hello, Clinton. Clinton, how much time do you actually spend in Australia? Ooh, 3 months a year, I'm guessing. Hello, Kansas. Terry Robertson with his little emoji symbol there, and Team Red Guts, another member. Now, this is not a bad time for the US. It's 11:30 p.m. on the East Coast. It must be 8:30 on the West Coast. I'm actually flying through Seattle on the way to, which race? Doha? I think after Las Vegas. I've never been through Seattle. That'll be a new airport. If you just joined me, I have a new flight review coming up next week. It'll be of the first class cabin on the 747 of Lufthansa. And I did some research, and I've already done a couple of bits for this video. I didn't realise, my dogs are barking, mainly Tyler's dog, that those aircraft were only stopped, well, production of them only stopped last year. And Lufthansa has some 27 of them in operation. It'll be very interesting. No, I can't do a house tour because there's stuff going on downstairs and my wife would kill me. It's a bit of a mess. Attending the Aussie and Chinese GP for my honeymoon, says Austin. I'll be at both of them, definitely. Says David Stewart, a fan for about 2 years. Love content. Thank you. Appreciate all the help, all that you've helped me learn about F1. Happy to provide my thoughts on things. And as I say to most people, I just tell people via this channel what I see. Nothing more, nothing less. 4:30 a.m. on Sunday morning in London, 7 hours. Yeah, what are you doing up at 4:30 a.m.? It's I imagine reasonably warm, although are we out of summer yet? August. Yeah, is it the last month of summer? I don't know. When are you giving us no tours? Why are you in this format? Because I can't. Look, what happens if I do this? It says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. And I cannot change the orientation. I've also done a video. There's a more expensive one, Team Red Guts. That's the video I've done, which will go up now. Can someone please tell me how to change the orientation while I'm midstream here? Work out how to do it. It's driving me crazy. I I looked up a couple of videos prior to this to see if I could solve it. And in the past, I've worked it out, but it didn't give me that off. This is a nice format since it shows up in YouTube Shorts. Oh, I didn't know that. Hello, California. Geez, your state's in a bit of trouble, isn't it? All sorts of drama going on there. I hope it gets sorted out by the Olympics. New fan from the US of A. Videos have really helped me understand a lot. Good to hear. Yeah. Can you get some, please? Just get them out and give them to them. I'm doing a live stream. Just take their name and just the number. Yeah, just that's fine. Thank you, Team Red Guts. Yeah, it's disappointing that I cannot change this orientation. I would have loved to have, but it's not going to happen. My mate Van just moved to Lancelin, visiting next week. Any suggestions? Don't come when it's blowing a gale like it is outside now. It's horrid. The audio, I imagine, is very good on this because of this microphone I've got. Terry Robertson chimed in with a donation, a very generous donation of 50 United States dollars, and they're much more valuable than our dollars by a factor of 50%. If you've just joined me, I have done a video, and I've just finished recording it. What would you spend going to every single race, first class, best tickets at the track, best hotels, next year? And the figure is mind-bending. It's just phenomenal. It's such an expensive sport because, of course, it's a worldwide sport, and unfortunately, it's got to cost a fortune to get around. I do hope I see some of you at upcoming races. I'm doing meet and greets definitely in Zandvoort, maybe in Monza. I haven't seen my schedule yet. Definitely in Austin. Hopefully you'll be at some of those races. And I know I've got a number of US people who on a Saturday night have nothing better to do than watch me on YouTube, which I'm most grateful for. No, that's not fans, that's people picking up sandboards. Hi from Perth, how's the off-season going? I've done nothing, absolutely nothing but work. I've spent almost every minute of the day in this house except for a few bits and pieces, taking dogs for a walk and a couple of medical appointments, a couple of lunches with my staff in Perth, which has been lovely. Yeah. Do I play the piano? I do. No, I've done that before a couple of times, Scott. You can find other videos where I've had a tinkle, but not today. Phoenix, Arizona. You have that lovely, those lovely red rocks out in part of your state now near the border, near Las Vegas, don't you? I've been out there once. Have watched over 800 of my video. 800? Have I done 800? Far out. That's incredible. Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to do them now with my brilliant editor and my guys in the office who help with they do the thumbnails. I'm hopeless at them. Nothing confirmed for Daniel with signed prints. I spoke with Kimi Antonelli the other night in, where was it? Spa. Did mention as soon as he gets into F1, I'll be talking to him about a signed print deal. Yeah, interesting. I'm going to the Vegas GP. Any tips? Yes, go to kimillman.com, go to my race by race guide, and in particular, wait a week, or no, go now and then come back in a week, because I'm adding a section there, how to meet F1 drivers, on every single page, all 24 races. And I have a video coming up called Driver Selfies, how to get a driver selfie. Invaluable advice from somebody who's at every race and will tell you stuff that no one else will. And it's absolutely free of charge for you. No, how do you fix the orientation lock? Doesn't work. Pull down control, center click. Pull down control center. No. Control center. How do you do that? No, the orientation lock's already open. And even if I turn it this way and lock it that way, it doesn't do anything. It's still like, oh no, bloody hell. Does that work? No, that hasn't worked. No, I don't think that's worked. That doesn't work. Sorry, guys. It pisses me off. I'm going to go back to that because those people with iPhones will be more than happy. And if anybody wants to help me afterwards, I'd be most grateful. But I've just given up. I spent too long on it. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses. The WAGS video already recorded and produced. It's just a matter of when I post it. It'll be in the next 2 weeks. Orientation light might be if you do auto-rotate. No, I started the live stream in landscape, not portrait. I started it that way. It just didn't work. I see Kylie doing a spot at Singapore. No, but Kylie and I have a mutual friend. When I sponsored Shane Warne, the cricketer, he was managed by Helen Nolan, who used to also work with Kylie Minogue. So that is my link between those two. Enjoying the rugger yesterday. Who played? I don't watch rugby, have no interest in that. Works in every iPhone, not just iPhone, no. What I found was you had to go to YouTube when you started your live stream. You had to go to extra settings, and there, oh shit, I nearly lost that. And there will be a button that says orientation, and you just click it. But no, there was no button, so that was a lie. Hello, Port Stephens, New South Wales, which is 1:40 p.m. South Australia versus South Africa, because I'm from South Australia. No, who won? Not that I really care anyway. Having a good rest? Yeah, I'm well rested and keen to get back to it and do some exercise. Have you already put your orange filter on for Zandvoort? What's my orange filter? Did I put an orange filter on? Oh, okay, yeah, the shirts. No, you don't need an orange filter. It's all orange. I do think it is one of the best races for the year with fans. It's phenomenal. They are just, well, a little bit crazy. Maybe a lot crazy. Never been to St. Louis or Louis. Do the drivers get a part of the revenue from the signed prints? It's all commercial, Alex. Money changes hands, sometimes to a charity, sometimes to a team, sometimes to a driver. Just depends. Have you seen fans with camera gear? Yeah, I don't know. Well, look, I haven't taken notice. But what I can tell you is oftentimes we'll go to races and we'll see people standing in spots, general admission spots, with long lenses. I'm talking 500-600mm long lenses, and I'm thinking, how do they get them in there? I know that they're okay in Japan for some parts of the track, no problem at all, where there are photography clubs, but I don't know. I don't know whether F1 police, it's not F1, it's the tracks. Some tracks police it diligently, and others it appears they don't give a damn. Been to Denver a couple of times. Went skiing there for a little bit up at a Club Med resort in Coppermount. It was okay, it was many years ago when I was single. I don't follow AFL much. No, AFL is our football. If you're not familiar, it's unlike almost anything else in the world. If you go for a meal with any of the current drivers, who would it be? I've eaten with a few of them. Who would it be? Here. I've got a list here on my computer. I have a list here of all the drivers, all the races, all the teams, and it's my go-to list. Who would I like to have dinner with? Charles, Lando, Carlos, Daniel. Yeah, I'm sure they'd all be interesting. A couple of them a bit quiet. Lance Stroll, Sergio Perez, quiet sort of guys. Oh, somebody's chimed in with a super chat. Charivari. Is that how I pronounce your name? What's your response to fans who feel that pay drivers undermine the sport? The sport promotes itself as the pinnacle of motorsport, with the 20 best drivers in the world, like Nikita and Zhou, undermine that. Well, perhaps they shouldn't say it's the 20 best drivers in the world then, because if a team can't afford to pay a driver and they have to get a paid driver, it's just a commercial, it just makes commercial sense. I don't think you could possibly say, no, you can't bring in money to a team. Sergio Perez brings in a huge amount of money for Red Bull. Is he a pay driver? Some would argue yes. I think we just have to wear it. It doesn't bother me that much. Sometimes it's interesting, isn't it? Right, now I'll get rid of that one and go back. How do I get rid of that? Oh, I've got stuck here now, guys. I've got a very wonky tripod, which is, I can't get rid of that comment. Charivari. How do I get rid of your comment? Oh, there we go, it's gone. How do I deal with heavy rain on race weekends? I hate it. Now, I have wet weather gear for my camera, and sometimes I take an umbrella out, but that's just for walking. As soon as you start shooting, unless you stuff the umbrella down the back of your jacket, it's pretty much useless. Might be wet in the Netherlands. I don't want that. Oh, I've just had nothing but rain and nasty winds here for the best part of a week. Why is traffic inequality still a thing? Can we fix that? I'm not the man to answer that question, Gilberto. Are you Italian? Because I am staying with a lovely Gilberto and Elisabetta in Monza. I come across this apartment, years ago. And I stay there every year, and it's beautiful. It's in a place called Carretta Brianza, about 25-minute drive from the track, and it's lovely. And Jace is coming with me this year, so he'll be sharing that apartment. Now, if you want to get your comments seen, definitely get on to Super Chat, and you will be noticed. You will not be not noticed. Always love your work, art, videos, insight, and sense of humour. Thank you. How do I pronounce that name? Should I have a go? Inu? I don't know. It's not something we see. I've never seen that in my language, so I'm a novice. Hugs from Colombia. I always get that, don't I, Nick? I did send some staff to Colombia one year for a conference. Some of my staff, I think I sent 2 or 3 of them over there to Bogota. Is it dangerous? Don't know. It couldn't be any. Well, maybe it is as dangerous as Brazil, but I've never had a problem in Brazil. Fingers crossed. I don't know. Ricardo, does he get a seat in 2025? Look, if Daniel doesn't know, you and I have no idea, do we? And I don't think Daniel knows yet. You think Seb will come back? No. Went to the Spanish GP, watched your videos for info. Happy to hear that, Paul. I hope you told all your friends too. What do I do for a living? Formula One. It takes up every minute of my life. It is all-encompassing. I never stop working. Have you heard of Road America in Wisconsin? No? I thought you'd be... Is there a UFC today in Perth? No. My son might be. He loves that sort of stuff. Just wondering, why do you have a company in Singapore? Because I have a lot of clients in Singapore. And that's with Messages on Hold. And I have some staff up there. Bought that in 2012, was it? No, it's probably earlier than that. It's been going for a long time. Good business. And I like Singapore. Not that I go there that much. Although I don't like the heat, but I do love, and I've got a few nights off at some point this year, and I thought, well, my wife suggested we go up there and just hang around a hotel for 4 days, and we picked the Pan Pacific because it looks stunning. And I do love swimming in the pools up there. I don't swim too many other places, but because it's so bloody hot, it's a real joy in sitting around the pool eating burgers. I love it. It's just a lovely place. And great shopping. Photography passes cost nothing, Jackson. They are free. Why do you keep taking delusional and useless celebrity pictures in the paddock? Got to tell you, there is huge interest. There's huge interest in celebrities and women. Go figure. They earn the most money on YouTube. On Getty. You just do what the public wants. Tell you what they don't want. Boring picture of cars on track. Don't do anything. Hardly sell. Just give people what they want. If you suddenly decided you want pictures of mechanics in tank tops, I'll be shooting that for you. You've got to understand I'm a marketing person, so I'm led by what works. Because there's no point me telling you what you should watch. I just put up stuff from what I know works. I did 2 interviews, Drew, in London, I think on the same day. Yeah, one was with Ollie and one was with Battle Approved. And they're both good. Now, I've actually got all Ollie's cold vision, and it was an hour-long video, and I've cut it up into little segments and put my pictures over the top, and they'll be coming up, I think there's 32 of them will be coming up on my TikTok, Instagram, Reels and Shorts in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so I have a fan club in Colombia, Nick. Nice to know. Are there any camera features that don't exist yet you've been wishing for? No, but I can tell you, John, that I'm going to Canon's Dusseldorf headquarters for Germany after Zandvoort. They've invited me, and by the way, they're giving me an R1 for 2 races. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about cameras, this is the new one from Canon, and I've got it for 2 races to play with, not released. Well, you can pre-order now, but not coming out till November. And they're also going to take me and show me their facility, and run me through the camera, and I think it'll be fascinating. That itself will be a video. Now, somebody else has thrown in $50 US. Milton Brownrigg from Australia. That's not US dollars, that's Australian dollars, and I'm most grateful for that. I thought you said stay passionate chef, and I think, how did you know I've been doing some cooking? Well, just cooking steaks. But Milton, yes, I will be staying passionate, and it's quite cold here today, and we are 2 hours behind you in Melbourne, where my son was recently, one of them. Yeah, he went skiing at Bulla. Said it was a bit slushy, but better than icy. Enjoyed his time there. Thank you, Milton and Terry, 2 of my biggest supporters on this channel, along with Scott Greenspan. I'm surprised Scott's not on here. He's from the US of A. He's normally up and about at this time of day. Let's go through a few more of your... Yes, Stefan, I just said Canon's loaned me an R1 to test out. Well, I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm testing it out the next 2 races. So that should be thrilling. I tell you what I could have used that for the other day here. Beautiful lightning over the island. So I've got a camera, and to capture lightning, you have to have the shutter open for, say, 30 seconds, and then you're pretty much guaranteed of getting a shot. But what I'd rather do is just stand there and wait for the lightning to go off and then press the button, because on the R1, it's already recorded X number of frames before you hit the shutter button. So you can be, it's going to be amazing for doing that type of shot where you can't press the shutter as the lightning's going, it's just too quick, but you can press it as you see it and know that it's got the few frames prior. That will be a game changer for that. Here's another member. Can I see your name? Team Red Guts again. I am on here. Bless you for that. Love your content, says Jean-Michel Bernstein. I worked for TRW Arrows back in '98. Arrows, did you go to Melbourne? Were you involved in any of my promotional stunts with some very interesting women? One was body painted, one had tyre tracks over her top and bottom. And the other girl, what did she have? Oh, a bikini made of little model car tyres. I did 3 promos with Arrows and loved it. Had a little bit of trouble getting the naked model in, because she was naked except for a G-string. She was topless but body painted. And we had to come in as Paddock Club guests with pit lane walk passes. And she had an overcoat on, and security twigged that there was something not quite right. And they'd gone, oh, no, you can't come in like that. So we had to get onto Arrows and say, help us, get us in. Because it was all arranged, but I had to actually get her into the paddock, into pit lane. Anyway, it worked out. Would you say the R1 would be a considerable upgrade? Not considerable, but mine are getting a bit scratched, and there's a few things that I don't love about it. Still a good camera, and Jace is keen to get his hands on them. So I've already ordered 2. They'll be coming. Now, what other comments shall I see here? Who do you think are going to fill the remaining seats? Antonelli. Who else have we got? Daniel for V-Carb. I think they'll just keep him. Oh, I don't know, Lawson. I'd like to see him in there. But if he doesn't get Daniel's seat, can he become a free agent and perhaps go and... I'm sure he's talking to Audi anyway, because you wouldn't want to sit around hope. And is there one more? Red Bull? Yeah, will Red Bull sign him next year? I honestly don't know. It doesn't really matter what I think anyway. What about Bottas to replace Perez? Yeah, maybe. Favourite and least favourite track? Favourite's always Monaco, I say that all the time. Least favourite, China. What's your plan between Monza and Baku? Come home. Got some very good flights, deals on flights. Have you ever had a memorable, unpleasant interaction with any F1 driver? No, No, Nico once told me no more photos, Kim, out the back of the FIA garage. He'd had a particularly poor race, and he said, no, that's enough. And I said, fine, and walked away. He was fine with that. No, not one. David Wittenberg's thrown in some US dollars, the most valuable dollars. In fact, the Q8, do they have dollars? Whatever their currency is. I think theirs is the most valuable currency in the world. Thank you, David, and thank you for your liking of my content. Which F1 team's livery looks best? My photos of, what have we got? Ferrari always. V-carb looks good. What else? McLaren. Tell you what's not good is Mercedes, side on, the black. And Aston Martin in dull conditions, terrible. Talk about the Red Bull, as if I'd know anything about a braking system. Clueless, anything about cars. Unless I can sit and bear it, you'd be wasting your time asking me. Have you had any drivers over for dinner? I don't. No, they wouldn't be in Lancelin, so no. Had Shane Warne over a couple of times for dinner in Perth, if you know Aussie cricket. Great man. Been to dinner with a few of them. How often do the wags ask you for photos? Oh, a couple of times a year. Not a lot. Good morning from Finland. Kiitos, Petri. Kiitos. I've been through your country once. Jace has been there once as well. It looked really lovely coming into land, very green. I'm not a petrol head. I've got no idea about cars. How hot is Miami race weekend? Nah, not great. Don't like it. In terms of, buzz hot? No, I don't love it. I think Vegas is a better race. This is Scott G in New York City. Had this channel for years. Thank you, Scott G. But since you travel so often, what's a travel hack? You're a surprise. Okay, I can tell you this, because I've done this. I spent at least 90, maybe even 120 minutes searching for flights for my video about what is the most expensive, how much could you possibly spend to do every race in style. And sometimes, and I'll give you London to New York one way, $21,000, return $8,000 Aussie. Why? Why is that? There'll be some reason why they price the one way nearly 3 times the price of a return ticket. And all you do is buy the return and don't show up for the return. And in fact, my wife's done that before, and then we've not turned up for that second leg. And then she's applied for a credit or a refund on the unused portion and actually got a few $100s back. So it was even better value. There you go. There's a tip that we can all put into play at some point. Have you ever seen the Ferrari family at a race? Who's the family? Are you talking... oh, yeah, I know. Let me find out. I obviously see the management, John Elkin and his son, pop up at various races. And the other gentleman is it Enzo's son or illegitimate son from the docker? I can't remember his name. But yes, his wife said hello to me, and they even picked up the tab for my dinner or my lunch at the restaurant opposite the track in Modena. It was lovely, lovely people. And I apologise for not remembering that gentleman's name or his lovely wife's name. Thank you, Ben Pettis, who's gifted 5 Kim Illman memberships. Now, I must admit, I'm clueless what the hell that even means. What does that mean? How do I work that? I thank you for it. I just don't know what it actually means. What's my opinion of Nikita Mazepin? I like Nikita. I got on well with him. We had a few laughs. A bit of a lad. I think he enjoyed the social side of Formula One with a fair amount of ferocity. Yeah, good boy. Don't talk politically, just he's always nice to me, and I always enjoyed having a chat with him. Never been to the Nürburgring. Is it anywhere near Dusseldorf? Let's have a look. I I could go and do that because I've got to drive from Zandvoort to Dusseldorf next week. Although I don't think I'll have time. Zandvoort, Nürburgring. You'll be laughing, you people. Oh, it's not anywhere near there, or it's right next to there. Let's have a look. Nürburgring, directions to Dusseldorf. It's an hour and 26. Is it on the way? No, it's below. It's below. So no, we won't be going there. Oh, I didn't realise Dusseldorf was so close to Cologne. I like Cologne. It's got that lovely church. If you want your comment, I'll definitely be seen. Here is, do I have it? Thank you to Nuruddin Taleb for $2. Where are you from, sir or madam? I've got no idea. I think it's a sir based on that picture. So thank you very much for that. Drove on it right before Spa this year, says Team Red Guts. They go into your YouTube membership without paying, luckily them. They go into your YouTube membership without paying, luckily them. Okay. Feed is going pear-shaped. Why? What's happening? Is the audio shit or is the video shit? What made you move to WA? No, I moved from South Australia to Darwin, got a job in radio. Then I decided I got sick of radio in Darwin and the weather, so I came to Perth and got a job on Channel 9. Do drivers ever blow you off or not pose? Well, hardly any of them pose. No, they don't pose for us. Well, Lando will sometimes give me a smile, as will Nico and who else? Alonso sometimes smiles. Gasly laughs occasionally. Bottas, give me a look. Ricciardo, Tsunoda. Never Verstappen or Perez. Never Hamilton. Russell sometimes, yep. Leclerc sometimes. Sainz, yep. Piastri, yep. Stroll, no. Ocon, yep, says hello. Yeah, so a few of them do, but that's not their job to pose for us. And it makes me laugh when I see first-time photographers, and we're all a first-time photographer at one point, but they'll just say, oh, could you stop there? Can I get a photo of you? No driver stops. They've got no interest in stopping, and nor should they have. We're there to document what we see. With that said, though, they will stop for the team photographer. They've got a commercial shoot and that sort of stuff. Now, what have we got here, Milton? If you're watching this, hit that like button. It's painless. That's very good advice from a learned YouTube follower. Gifting memberships just means paying for other people's memberships. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you very much. Well, hopefully some people can take advantage of that. Willem Bagnall, where are you from? What do you do for a living? Do you have a story? Anything interesting about your life that the other 278 people here might find of interest? Oh, could you please, by the way, all of you click the like button? It looks like this on your screen, or actually this direction. Could you all please hit the like button? There we go, 123. It'll bump up now to 140. Let's all just take a moment to be thankful for the like button. There we go, a couple more there. Some of you haven't pressed it. If you have pressed it, don't press it again. Just for those of you who haven't pressed it, could you please hit the like button now? Oh, look at that. 135, there's a bit of a delay here, so I understand that. But the like button is for those people who don't want to throw in for Super Chat. It's your way of helping out the algorithm. Another 10 there, that's very nice. Thank you very much. F1 hats. I was going to do something with these hats. These are all the hats that I've accumulated from Formula One. Red Bull. Williams. That's this one. This one's good. George Russell. Really nice cap. It's not quite as solid as mine. Rolex. We're losing Rolex as a sponsor. Do you know that? Yes. They've been outplayed money-wise. Here we go. This is... Do you recognise this one? This is Sauber. It's a very nice design. It's a bit loose though, I can't wear it on track because if it blows off it'll end up on the track. Valtteri Bottas, Oath Gin, still they come. Incy Jets, flew one of their private charters this year. Who's this one? This one here. Oh, these will be available for sale again next month. Yeah, that's Logan Sargent and Alex Albon, but it's faded a bit. That's all the hats I have up here. Now, somebody's thrown in £20. Clinton Brown, £20. What is that? Is that a drink in a nightclub in Britain? No, you can probably get a couple of pints for that, I imagine. It is very expensive to drink alcohol in a lot of these countries, which is good. So it's just me imbibing. I just can't stomach paying 35 Aussie for a drink somewhere. It ain't worth that. I love your F1 videos, says Bleach Provider. Hope you're enjoying your vacation. What is vacation? Because I'm not travelling. That's nice. Doing lots of videos and prepping for the last half of the year before the wild shit starts back up again next week. From Los Angeles, California. Yeah, I was looking at a hotel. I've got a 9-hour layover there later this year or later this year. I had a similar layover there. No, it's next year actually, on the way to Miami. I had a similar layover this year. I went and had lunch with a lovely fella. He's the fella that owned Red Cameras, Jared Land, who's a friend of Brad Pitt's. I've seen him at the track a couple of times. Thoughts on the seemingly slow pace of news during driver silly season? I kept expecting a flurry of driver changes early in the season. Yeah, well, Carlos has certainly, I guess, opened the door now. People will be moving and shaking very shortly, I'd suggest, when we get back. Anything, I sent an email to a couple of PR people from F1 teams the week after we came back from Europe, so in other words, during the holiday break. And I got an automated response saying, no, we can't respond. All the people have to have 3 weeks off or whatever. So yeah, they take that seriously. No one's allowed to work, even PR people. It's 11 p.m. for Rich Noob, watching from bed. Now, 11 p.m, you must, central USA somewhere? Do you think we can win the Constructors? Yes, I do think they can win the Constructors. I think they will. Good morning, Alec, with a K, often spelt wrongly. I'm assured of that. Mark White, is this the beginning of the end for Christian Horner? I thought with Jonathan Wheatley leaving that might be partly due to the Christian thing, but I was told unequivocally, no, it's just him wanting to improve. It was a great opportunity, and we shouldn't read anything into that. I do not know, though. Do the drivers ask for you not to take their picture? No, they don't ask me not to take their picture. Sometimes if I take their picture, they'll say, can you not use that for a period or ever? And makes sense. It builds you, it's a bit like, I guess, they'll owe you a favour. Yeah, nice. Rightio. Thanks again, Abdusar, for your 5 memberships. My foot got infected before I left Australia. I trod on some coral out here on the river. Started to play up in Kigali, so I went to the hospital and spent about an hour there, and they dressed it and cut some stuff out of it and did a whole lot of stuff, and it cost me $7. That wouldn't have been anything like $7 in the US. It would have been 700. But anyway, I was very thankful for them, and it is a nice place. And the people are lovely. Yeah, Jean-Michel, thank you for that. I think I'll be doing a little bit of business there, going and seeing my friend again, and maybe have lunch with Brad Pitt, if you had a chance to go back to a NASCAR race, if I had a chance. I don't know. I've got a week after the Miami P where I have to decide what to do, because it's not economical time-wise or money-wise to come back to Australia. So I do have some time to kill either in the US or in Europe. I don't know. Don't know what I'll do. Hello from Vancouver, Canada. What is your best story meeting Senna? Never met him. But didn't work in F1 when he was around. Do you ever think Formula One will race at Kyalami? Don't know. The only reason I would know is if someone says, yeah, we're going back there. Otherwise, I just read pretty much what you read. Sometimes if it's stuff at the track, like the George Russell thing last race, yeah, I'm right at the heart of that. And that's fascinating to be there. And that's the sort of stuff, the stuff that works for me. And somebody said before, why do you continue to take photos of celebrities? Because they sell. People want to see them. And you've got to give people what they want. You don't you don't get on in life by doing the opposite of what people want. And the majority want that. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. What was I talking about? Forgotten now. Couldn't have been too important. Is there a picture you've taken that you haven't published? Yeah. Dozen, probably. I'll be attending Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Doubt if I get to meet you, but I will be there, Bruce. If you see me, certainly say hi. IndyCar races, yeah, been a couple. It's okay. Look, it's no prize. No, black bucket hat, no. Can't be as a video. No, that won't be happening. Did you ever cover the Indian GP? Negative. I went to Montreal and had a great time, watched many of your vids for info about where and how to meet drivers, and I even got my hat signed by Lando. Good. On my kimelman.com race by race guide page, end of next week, we should have all of the races with a little section, how to meet an F1 driver, how to get a selfie. And I'm doing a video, which I've already recorded, just has to be edited, and it'll go up next week. It's pointless putting really any video up in these 3.5 off weeks. No one's interested in Formula One. Pretty much any video that goes up then is wasted. So we keep them all and then we run them back to back for a good couple of weeks. There'll be, I'm guessing, 14 videos in 15 days maybe, including one on the Canon R5 when I go to Canon's headquarters in Dusseldorf. Have you had much interaction with Danica Patrick? Looks like she shot herself in the foot. No, I've smiled at her and said hi, but I haven't had much back from her. Featured her in Women of the Paddock once or twice, but no. No, she's not Naomi Schiff. Naomi is one of the finest women I've ever met. She is just gold to be around. If you watch her on television, I think she's exactly like what she is in real life. Very glamorous woman. Beautiful fashion too, and yeah. In fact, I've got a present for her coming up. I must remember to take it. What's your opinion on the cease and desist letters sent out to F1 content creators? What is this, Tiffany? I want to hear about this. I've not seen this. Should I search that? Cease and desist to F1 content creators. Oh, thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's excellent, because that'll make my videos even more valuable, because I adhere to all their rules and regulations, whereas anyone outside the sport doesn't have to. They've got nothing to lose if they go and piss off F1. I have plenty to lose. Okay, that's interesting. Could be a video in that, maybe. The unofficial ambassadors. I'll read that later, but Tiffany, I do thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's gold. Yeah, I know, because I'm in the country, Bruce. This is country country Western Australia, and we are at the mercy of the weather and shit internet. There is so much clickbait with people covering F1. Yeah. F1 sent many cease and desist letters to creators, forcing many to change their name. Really? That's for creators that use race footage. Because I always wondered, I can't use race footage. And these people, like a lot of them use my bloody pictures as well. But I'm glad they're going to stop them. I know some of those who got them and had to make changes. Good. Because I can't use video of cars on track. It's part of the rules. And I'm thinking, maybe they're all paying. Maybe they pay F1, but apparently, well, based on this, perhaps not. If you're looking for stuff to do in LA, look, I'll tell you what I did. That last time I had 7 hours on the ground. It took me probably 40 minutes to get to the taxi. It took me an hour in the taxi to get there. I had an hour and a half with my friend. Then I had to come back. It was an hour and 10 to get back. And then a couple of hours earlier just to make sure. So yeah, and I had a suitcase with me as well because I couldn't check that in. So a bit of a pain in the bum, but thank you very much for your suggestions. You've been a huge topic on TikTok. It's been a huge topic. Okay, thank you. I have a podcast myself, but luckily don't have F1 in my name, so I was not in trouble. Also, huge fan. Love your videos watching from Pittsburgh. What's your prediction for next race? Well, lots of good photos. LA is total misery, yeah. You know what is a good thing to do in LA for a few hours is to go either to In-N-Out near the airport and watch the planes come over there, or go to the other side to that hill where those guys do the live stream and just watch aircraft come and go. It's such a lovely thing to do. In fact, if I lived in LA and I had nothing to do, let's say I was retired, I'd just be there every day. I love it. LA traffic is the best. Not related to F1, but need to visit Lancelin sometime. Love WA. Yeah, it's okay. Well, you don't want to be here. Well, yesterday you would not want to be here. It was bloody awful. One of the worst days I can remember. Lots of water coming into the house here. No, never done a video on the race engineers. Don't know enough about them. And it's freaking hard amassing all that info. The videos I love to do are the ones from the track where I can just talk about what I've seen, because there's no research involved. But this one I just did today, recorded, haven't edited yet, is about what's the most you could spend if you were going to do all races. And there was so much to research. The price of every first class flight, price of every, well, in the end, the economy ones. No, I did the economy flights. Then working out what the cost of tickets is. And, it's bloody hard to buy tickets to Formula One races. It's very hard to work out where to go, what packages, and then a lot of apply, price on the application. No, I don't want to be sending you an email. I want instant information like that. So that really gobbled up a lot of time. Do you follow Sid Squad? No. Sydney Plane Spotters? No, haven't heard of them. Thanks for the tip. I think you're talking about the In-N-Out in El Segundo. That's where the planes fly. Yeah. I've spent some time there, and you can actually go up to that car park next door and get an even better shot of the planes landing. Is it worth upgrading to an R52 from... Well, I'm getting one. I don't know whether it's worth it, but I'm getting one. I'll tell you what I've had, and this is actually Canon's. They've sent me a loaner. Using this microphone on this camera has led to all sorts of dramas where just some files you record for 3 minutes, right, on this thing, and then you go to play it back, no audio. So I changed that microphone to this microphone, exactly the same model, just bought a new one, thinking it's a microphone, exactly the same problem. So then I changed the camera to another camera, because I've got two of these. And I did it with that camera. Then I thought maybe it's the R5, so I then tried an R3, did it with that camera. And then I got another microphone, my son's got a different one, and it hasn't played up with that. And now for the last 3 days, this hasn't played up. It drives me crazy. It's just frustrating because it needs to work all the time. It's not something you want to have to hope works. Favourite subject to photograph outside of racing? Models. I like female models, and I shot this quite lovely girl in Budapest. She had the most beautiful facial features, and we just did pretty much face shots in the park, and I love them. I love those pictures. What else do I shoot? I don't like scenery and stuff. In fact, when I come back to Perth, I hardly take a photo here because I've done 20,000 a race for the first half of the season. I don't want to be going out and doing it. So I tend to not worry. I owe your bucket hat. Kim, I owe your bucket hat. Miami was my... You own, maybe? I didn't expect it to be that long of a walk. I owe your bucket hat. Well, I don't know what that means, Caroline, but if you want to grab one of these, there you go. You can buy them next week, getting another drop. Probably get another 100. I wish I'd known they were going to sell so well, because I could have done them a whole lot cheaper if I bought 300 up front, but you don't know. I might have sold 2 and been stuck with 98. You never know. Do you believe Newey is going to Aston? I don't believe anything until it's announced. Oh, no, there's one thing I believe, and we're going to hear about it shortly. Which driver would you most like to be sitting next to on a long plane flight? Well, if I was sitting next to Lewis, I don't think he'd want to talk. It's the guys that are new into the sport that will talk the most. And I do like to learn a bit about the sport. So I'd go for someone who's new, first or second year. But Lando's great, and so's Daniel. And same as the other question earlier on, who would I like to have dinner with? Most of them would be entertaining, I have no doubt. Yes, I play the piano, but not enough, Milton. I should do more practice, and I'm sitting here. I've got this one here. I've got another piano in my Perth house. I'm rarely at, but yeah. Oh, tell me, SB, how did Paddock go in that IndyCar race? I haven't found out. I'll wait for your answer, because Paddock is one of the finest young men I've ever encountered. He makes me laugh. He's a really great kid. I'm just changing this microphone. Is that going to last there? This is the microphone here. Good microphone. Rode NTG. Will that work there? Yeah, that works, I think. No. What's the thing Hal said you believe about? No, I don't know anything about Newey. We'll find out. Who gave me this US 99? Team Red Guts. When did you give me that? Thank you very much. That is very generous of you. Thank you for all that you do and all of your hard work for the F1 community. Scott G from NYC. Oh, Scott Greenspan. I didn't know you were Team Red Guts. Oh yeah. I'll show you a photo of Scott. And his wife. That's them. That's them at the last race. Good on you, Scott. Most appreciated. You must have had that up for a while, because it's got a little time thing on the bottom. How did I miss that? I hope I haven't missed anyone else's. Yeah, thank you very much. Always appreciated. Very snappy dresses in the paddock. In fact, I did think of you because I was doing this video, and I know you gave me some pricing on what those expensive packages were at the track, but I couldn't lay my hands on that. But anyway, I've since found out that information. So yeah, thank you, Team Red Guts. Any good lens recommendations? Oh, yeah, my 100 to 300, I don't have on a camera. It's a double negative. Always got it over my shoulder. I love it. It's heavy, but it's immaculate. And the other one I haven't got, and I perhaps ought to have, is it 28 to 70 f2? Looks like a great lens. And any of you Japanese people here know where I can get a Canon Dream lens, the 50mm f.95. I want that lens desperately. What do you think about where Red Bull is at right now? I think they're in a bit of trouble. I think there's no harmony there. There's just been putting out fires this year. Could be wrong. Look, I just know from a few people who work with them closely in terms of journos, and maybe there's issues. Interesting to see next year, but it'd be great for the sport if they do come back to the rest of the field, which I think they're probably now in that position. Which is your favourite GP? Oh, I would get that 20 times every single race. Perhaps someone could answer Boo's question. Favourite GP race I like to take photos at. See if you know. What do you think of F1 cracking down on I think it's great. I think it's great, and I can only tell you that I've just become aware of it. I didn't know it was using the F1 name. I thought it was using their vision, which I don't think is at all fair. Monaco is correct, says Jay Flores. It's Monaco, Jamie Mack. It is Monaco, my favourite to take photos at. What is the best turn to be located at Suzuka for a fan? Look, we never get out in the fan zone. But I imagine turn 1, you can see them coming towards you and going away up the S's. I think that would be a good spot. I don't think far into the track's much chop. Kim's favourite is Monaco. Thank you, Scott and Dana. I've done that one. Do I miss Kimi Räikkönen? You might have seen that Insta post I put up. Drivers, the answer is, yeah, I quite liked his dryness. He's a funny man, isn't he? And he's the only person that could do what he did in terms of the media. You certainly get no rookie driver coming in year one treating the media like that. It'd be lovely to see and funny to watch, but no, that was pretty much Kimi's own brand. But I did that post the other day where I looked at all of the drivers that I've photographed who have raced in F1 in my time, but who are not on the list of 20 at the moment. And there were 20 drivers. So there's 20 on the grid this year, and there are 20 others that I've photographed who've actually raced in an F1 race, including Jack Aitken. Hang on, I have to sneeze. That would have been loud. Jack Aitken, Sergei Sirotkin, Jolyon Palmer, and other names. And I didn't even realise it. Oh, actually I did. Oh, I realised that Jack Aitken did indeed race, but only after I did some research. He filled in for George Russell when George drove that Mercedes in Bahrain. And Pietro Fittipaldi also drove for Romain Grosjean. What's this? Yeah. Other questions from you guys. Do I ever anticipate how popular content would become? Did you ever anticipate? Oh, not in general, but I have an idea of what I think will be popular posts and videos. But I don't think that was quite what the question you were asking was. No, I didn't have any idea of what... I didn't even like social media when I started. I resisted Instagram for 18 months and YouTube for 30 months, maybe even longer. Now it's just all-consuming. Jack got married recently. Who did he marry? Did he marry that young lady whose name eludes me, but used to work in F1? How has F1 changed over the few years? Too many people in the paddock now. It's crazy trying to get a driver on the weekend. You can't get a photo. You've got to use wide lenses, be very close to them. Prices of accommodation, I have no doubt, have gone up, perhaps more than inflation, just because the sport's so popular. But whilst there's some downsides, it's meant that my content's become more highly valued. So you can't have both. Can your son do some videos for you too? No. No, he doesn't want to be in front of the camera at all, really. It'd be nice, but he doesn't have any ambitions to do that. Other questions and statements that I might find interesting? I can't wait to get off this live stream, by the way, to go and read about what F1's doing with those content creators. I think I've only ever once been asked by F1 to take something down or amend it, because there's a very, especially with YouTube, there's a very definite list of things that we have to follow, more so when shooting from the track. And a couple of those are, I have to be the subject of the video. I remember a couple of people droning on, oh, get out of the way, we want to see, don't stand in front of the action, because I was down in the paddock saying, behind me something's happening. But they don't realise that I have to be the subject of the video. I can't take the video camera and point it at a celebration shot in the paddock. I have to be the subject. They can happen behind me, but I can't turn the camera away from me. So people just have to understand that that is the limitation. That's one of many limitations I have on my licence. And the other is time. I can only do X number of minutes per weekend. And I understand that, and I don't do anything like what the maximum time is anyway. But very important to stay within the rules. Oh, I love Anthony Jeselnik. He's going to be here in Perth. He's one of my favourite comedians, but I doubt I'd ever be in the same place as him. You are right about too many people in the paddock, says Terry. Yes. You ever photo interview regular people? There was an article a couple did all races. If I do interview them, they have to be outside the paddock, so I've got to get them away from the track. And I have done that. I've actually interviewed, you know, Taco Kettler, he went to every race last year. Now he's going to be doing some work for F1. Was with Endemol, the company that was behind a number of very successful TV shows out of Holland. Well, I wanted to ask him about his going to every race, but I couldn't do it inside the track. But what we did was in Melbourne, we walked outside the gates and did it 5 metres outside the gates, and I'm not in breach of my agreement. As someone who's far removed from legal content creation, a video from you about the content creator cease and desist. Well, I have to find out a little bit more about it, don't I? Could be a good one. Could be a good one. I think it can only help me because I'm doing the right thing. I could be wrong. We'll see. You are right about too many people in the paddock, yes. All right, so a couple of final questions before I go. And is it time to feed myself again? Yes. Yes, my 7th meal of the day at 12:30. No, it's only my second. I admire your content a lot, says Kayla. Well, I might photograph you, Kayla, maybe for Women of the Paddock or some fan thing. Who knows? What has been your favourite F1 driver's car to ride into the track? That I've seen a driver come in? What have I said? I remember Zach Brown's Speedtail. What else? Most of the cars they drive in are nice, but yeah, I don't love them. The Ferraris are nice, but don't know whether I want to buy one. Melbourne paddock is packed. Yeah, Melbourne is a very small paddock. If you had the same crowd that's in the Melbourne paddock in the Bahrain paddock, it'd be lovely. And with someone like that race, Bahrain, it's easy for us to get a driver shot because there's more space around people. But in Melbourne, in Austin, what other tracks? A few of those tracks are quite tight. Anyway, people, that's all from me. Thank you for enduring the portrait format instead of landscape. I can't tell you why I couldn't change it, but I couldn't. And I'm going to now bid you farewell and tell you that I will see you on here at an upcoming race and wish you all the best and remind you to stay passionate.